Okay, so now we are starting our series of skeletal system. So in today's video, we will be seeing that what is a skeletal system, what's the function of skeletal system, and what's the structure of bone. All right. So let me write here what is a skeletal system actually. All right. So skeletal system is a hardened. Wait, let me write this as well. It is a hardened. I'll be telling you why it is hard. All right. It is hardened structure, or we can say it is a group of structure. It is a group of structure which can be present internally or externally. It can be either external or it can be internal as well. Or it can be internal as well. Either it would be living or dead. So let me write here either living or dead. And it provides what? It provides that we'll be talking about in the function of the skeletal system as well, but here I'm writing what it is actually. It provides the support and protection to the body. All right, and it provides protection to the body. Protection to body. So let me make you understand this definition, what this definition says. All right, it is a hardened structure. Now why it is hardened structure? Just because 99% of the calcium is stored in the bone, just because of this reason it is a hardened structure. So shall I write this? Yes, I'll write this as well. So how much calcium is stored in the bone that is making skeletal system a hardened structure? So that is 99% of calcium is stored in bone. And we know that skeletal system is composed of bones and cartilages. So that's why, as we have seen, 99% of the calcium is stored in the bone. So that's why it is making a skeletal system a hardened structure. Or it is a group of structure. It can be a group of structure because there would be so many structure present in the skeletal system. So we can say that it is a hardened structure just because of calcium, or it is a group of structure just because there are so many structure present in the skeletal system. It can be present externally as well as internally. Like in some organism, there are they have like skeletal system externally, but as we talk about us, like human beings, so human beings have a skeletal system internally. So it can either be external or internal. It can either be living or dead. Like in some organism the skeletal system is dead, but talking about us, so our skeletal system is living. All right, so it can either be living or dead, which provide the support and protection to the body. As you can see that we are walking just because of our skeletal system. We are sitting just because of our skeletal system. It provides the posture to our body. All right, as well as protection, because we know that we have so many delegated organs. All right, so this skeletal system is providing protection to those organs as well. As I talk about lungs, so lungs are covered in the rib cage. So that is covered with the rib cage. So rib cage is what? Rib cage is a part of skeletal system which is providing protection to the lungs. So that is that. So alright. So now I am going to make here the structure of bone, because we know that skeletal system is comprised of what? It is comprised of bone as well as cartilage. Alright. So let me write that as well. It is comprised of two things. It is comprised of two things. Alright. The first one is bone, as we will be going to see how the structure of bone. First one is bone and the second one is cartilage. Alright. Cartilage. Our human skeletal system is composed of two things, bone as well as cartilage. So now we are going to see the structure of bone. How is the structure of bone? Alright. So I am making with this diagram with white color. Wait. The label not good. Okay, this is fine, I guess. Here we have the structure of bone. I'll be telling you each and everything. Wait, let me make here first. I'm making first, then I'll be telling you what these structures are. Alright. I'm making this first, then I'll be explaining you what I'm making actually. Alright. The one who has already studied, he can easily guess what I'm making. Alright, this is just going to be completed. Alright. So now, so we have this central structure, wait, which is known as diaphysis. Alright, this structure is known as diaphysis. Then as you can see here, wait, this structure is known as metadiaphysis. Wait, let me make here first. Alright, now I'm going to write. So this structure is known as metadiaphysis. Alright, then again we do have the third structure here. Wait, let me make that as well. So I am going to make with this color. This structure is known as epidiaphysis. Epidiaphysis. Alright, as you can see here, the central structure is what we call the diaphysis. Then we have this structure which is known as metadiaphysis. Then we have this structure which is known as epidiaphysis. Alright, so this epidiaphysis is known as porous bone. Wait, let me write here. Porous bone. Because as you can see here in the epidiaphysis, there are a lot of porous. Porous means holes. Alright. So here are a lot of porous. So that's why it is also known as porous bone. So this is what? This is the red bone marrow. Wait, let me write this down. This is known as red bone marrow. Wait, let me color it red as well. so that can be more clear to you. All right, here we have the red, 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 red. All right, these all structure are red, and this is what? This is red bone marrow. All right, so as you can see here, these are what? These are red bone marrow, red bone marrow, and red bone marrow. All right, so the central part, as you can see here, this is what? This is yellow bone marrow. Wait, let me color this first. I'm going to make it yellow. Just wait. This is all what? Now let me make it yellow. Alright, as you can see here, this is what? This is yellow bone marrow. This is yellow bone marrow. Alright, this is what? This is a yellow bone marrow we do have. Yellow bone marrow. So let me write this as well. This is what? This is yellow bone marrow. So now what these are responsible for? Alright, red bone marrow is responsible for like making the red blood cell, white blood cell. We do have a lot of cells. Alright, so those are made by what? The red blood cells, the white blood cells, as well as the platelets. Alright, these are all made by the red bone marrow. So let me write this thing as well. Wait, this is very, you know what? This is fine. So let me write here. Okay, so this is responsible for what? For the production of red blood cells, then white blood cells, and platelets are made by what? These are made by red bone marrow, platelets. All right, and what yellow bone marrow is responsible for? Like if you'll get accident, all right, if you have gotten an accident, then what will happen? And your red bone marrow is fractured now. All right, so what will happen? This yellow bone marrow will start converting itself into red bone marrow, so that like blood can be, red blood cells can be made. So this is what. Alright, let me erase it. Then in that case, yellow bone marrow will start converting itself into what? Into red bone marrow. So that what can be happen? So that this thing can be happen. Like they can start producing what? How this happens? Wait, let me write this first. So that our these cells can be produced, red blood cells as well as white blood cells and platelets. All right, they can be produced. This was diaphysis. All right, so here now, as you can see here, this is all is what? It is medullary cavity. Medullary cavity. Alright, this is medullary cavity. Here we have cells. Wait, let me make those cells with another color. So here we have what? Here we have cells. Let me make these cells first. These are all what? These are the cells in the medullary cavity. Alright, and this region was known as what? Metadiaphysis. Alright, so these cells of the bones are known as osteocytes. Alright, so these are the cells of bone which are known as osteocytes, and these are living. These are known as osteocytes, which are the cells of bones. Cells of bone. And these are living, alright? Living cells. Living. Alright? So now here we have a wall. Alright? Here we have tissue. So let me make that tissue with another color. I think so this is fine. Here we have tissue as well. Wait, I am going to make that there as well. Alright, here we have tissue as well. Alright, here we have tissue as well. And this tissue is known as what? This is a bone tissue. Alright, wait, I'll write this as well. Let me make this first. This is made now. So this is what? Wait, let me write this down. This is a bone tissue. Bone tissue. Alright, which is mostly calcium phosphate. Calcium phosphate. This is calcium phosphate. Alright, so as we have talked about this alright, let me write that case as well. It has lots of adipose tissue. Like what structure has the lot of adipose tissue? That is yellow bone marrow. So wait, this is, as we know that this is yellow bone marrow. And it has a lot of adipose tissue. It has a lot of, wait, let me change the color. A lot of adipose tissue. Alright, and it is reserved tissue. Why it is reserved tissue? Because it can change to the red bone marrow in the case of accident, as I told you. Alright, so let me write that as well. Wait, let me change the color. Alright, so it is reserved tissue. Reserved tissue. Why it is reserved tissue? Because it can change itself to the red bone marrow. Red bone marrow. RBM is the red bone marrow. Alright, in case of what? In case of accident. In case of an accident. So this is a reserved tissue which can change itself to the red bone marrow if an accident is happening. Alright, so now parathormone, it is a hormone. Alright, parathormone. It helps getting calcium out of bones when there is deficiency in the blood. Alright, as you can see, calcium is stored in our bone. So if there would be deficiency of the calcium in our blood, so parathormone is a hormone which will be released, and this will do what? Like the function of this is what? So it will it will take this calcium out from this whole bone and will fulfill the wish of the blood, because blood has a deficiency of calcium now. So parathormone will be released and it helps getting calcium out of the bone, so that blood does not have the deficiency of the calcium ions. Alright, so this was all for today. As we couldn't do our functions of skeletal system in today's video, so we will be doing that in next video. Like in the next video, we'll be checking what's the function of skeletal system and what's the human skeletal system. Like human skeletal system has two types, axial skeletal system and appendicular skeletal system. So we'll be checking those. All right. So this was all for today.